Hey, I'm James McDougall.
I'm Lexi Grabowski.
I'm Briar Knowles.
My name is Jessica Malka.
I'm Christy Murdoch.
It's Alaska Lee.
I am Natasha Prasad.
I'm Megan Hemingway.
I'm Leanne Johnson.
My name is Snezhana Baikova.
I'm Kate Schroeder.
My name is Natasha Hurlbert.
My name is Rachel.
My name is Deborah Lee Smith.
I'm Rebecca Amzalag.
And I'm an actress and producer.
I'm an actress based in New York City.
Writer, actress.
I'm an actor.
Actor and filmmaker.
I'm an actress based in Los Angeles.
And I'm an actor, singer-songwriter.
I'm an actress.
I'm a model actress based out of Calgary, Alberta.
I'm an actor and a musician.
I am an actress based in Toronto, and I want to thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching.
And thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for tuning in to the Chat with Dan show.
Welcome back, everyone, to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan. For today, we have on the show the incredible, amazing, badass, superstar, the legendary. I mean, what can I say? Sierra, how are you today?
Hi, Dan. I'm so good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I mean, what better way to have an epic, badass, super legendary day than to be chatting with someone as badass as you know what I mean?
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
My heart feels so warm. Love it.
There you go.
Aw.
There you go. Now, before we start, I do want to thank those who are watching. If this is your first episode and you're new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow. It helps a lot. Now, without further more, let's jump in straight for the whole interview. Now, for those who don't know who is the incredible, amazing, badass, superstar, amazing Sierra, can you please tell us who you are?
Hi. My name is Sierra Wilson-Furr. I'm at Sierra WF on Instagram. It's SIERRA. I am a writer, director, producer, editor, actor, and comedian located in Vancouver, BC. And I run the production company, Lawless Spinster Productions, which focuses on female dramedies about women coming into their power. We love.
So you're basically doing everything. Like literally, you're doing everything.
I like to be able to do everything. And at this point in my career, I need to be able to do everything a little bit. So yes. Yeah.
That is amazing. Like super badass. You know, you just step up the bar to badass level 2.
Woo!
We're killing it here. Now, let's go back in time and tell me where this journey started. Like what triggered this whole passion for you?
Sorry, my cat really wants to answer the question. His name is Maurice. He will be very vocal throughout this next hour. Oh, hi, this is him. So I moved around a lot growing up. I watched a lot of movies with my brothers. I have 2 younger brothers, and we did a lot of road trips and traveling. And we always wanted to watch movies about like adventures, like Journey to the Center of the Earth and Back to the Future. And I loved those movies so much, but I hated the female representation in them. And from like just such an early age, I knew that I wanted to make movies for kids like myself, like kids that, you know, wanted basically just, I just wanted to see myself on screen, and I wanted to be able to help other people see themselves on screen. And that's really the nugget that started it all. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And you know, yeah, okay. I like it. And you know, I find it funny. I mean, yeah, so what I'm trying to say here is that it's interesting that, for example, back then, and even till this day, every now and then, I mean, not that much, but like every night, like back then, for example, we will see this film, right? And then there will be a co-star, or the main character will be a female one. And I find it very non-realistic whenever, for example, if they're doing, you know, if they're in the middle of a battlefield and we see the female actress wearing like some shorts, you know, tank top and things like that, and I'm like, that's so unreal. I mean, I wouldn't be in the middle of a battlefield with gunshots and explosions dressing up like that. Doesn't make any sense.
Totally. I 100% agree. And what's interesting is like, as I'm at a point in my career where I'm putting together sets and I'm controlling how comfortable people are on set, like I recognize that when you're in the middle of a battlefield, you're probably shooting in the cold, and like everybody else is like warm, and the girl is there freezing just so that she can have some kind of sex appeal for like movie numbers that like isn't necessarily needed. So things that I want to change about the industry 101.
No, but yeah, but that's amazing, because I am the type of person that if I'm gonna watch for example, an action film, I wanna see that everyone is kind of dressed up for the situation. You'll be like, okay, totally makes sense, you know. If you're in this type of area, you will be wearing the proper equipment to it, you know. Not like out of nowhere then, or like in the zombie apocalypse films. Oh, those are hilarious. That so it's a zombie apocalypse. There's a bunch of awful stuff out there, and then the female actresses will be just wearing same thing: tank top, some shorts, some boots perhaps, or some sneakers maybe, and this huge kick-ass rifle or axe or something like that. And then you will see the male ones, and the male will be like with a proper, a jacket perhaps, or helmets here and then. I'm like, yeah, okay, no, it doesn't make any sense.
Not at all. No.
Not at all.
Yeah. I literally have a friend that's shooting a movie right now, and she's like, I am always cold because I'm literally always there, and the men are wearing jackets, and it's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Now, moving on here, tell me, like, focusing on your, let's touch all the topics here, but let's start with directing. Tell me, like, how you direct a project. I mean, do you have like a specific ritual before to, or like a specific set of steps that you follow before directing a project? Like, what is your thing, let's say?
I mean, I'm pretty new to directing, so I just finished directing my second or third project, kind of depending how you look at it. What's important as well is, like, I'm a writer first, so just to kind of back up a little bit as well, I moved around a lot growing up. I moved to Vancouver to go to film school. I came here because of the film scene. And I ended up taking creative writing and English literature at UBC. And so my goal at that point was to be able to tell a really good story and not just learn how to make somebody else's film. Because it all comes back down to story. And if the story isn't working, then like it's not going to resonate for the audience in the same way. And what I really want to do is like, emotionally affect people and relate to them in a way that maybe they haven't been able to access those feelings before, and kind of help them to process their emotions and experiences in a way that like maybe they just don't know how to. I also have a lot of experience with therapy, so I think I have a unique ability to process emotions in that way. But I focus on writing, and I tend to, so far, I really like to direct projects that I've written because I have such a core understanding of the characters. And of course, I always want to bring in actors that add to that and understand it. And I directed a short called Anything, Anything in October, November, so just a few months ago. And I had a really fantastic, I had two stars in it, Anna Pacheco and Allison Chang, both of whom are local kind of Vancouver actors and comedians. And I had fantastic conversations with them one-on-one ahead of filming, and kind of just understood their relationship to the character as they saw it. I got feedback from them and how I could improve the script and improve the character. And that personal relationship with the actors is something that I want to continue with moving forward. For my second project, which I filmed with Randy Lee Leonard, who was on your podcast just recently, who also wrote and was one of the stars in a film that we filmed in January called The Statement. For that film, I also I reached out to each of the actors. I think we had like 7 or 8 actors, and I reached out to everybody one-on-one ahead of time, and like opened a line of communication so that they knew that they could come to me with questions. Because I've acted on sets where I'm really intimidated by the director, and there's obviously there's kind of a power dynamic there. And as an actor, you want to make them happy and do all that, but like I want to get rid of that. And I want to let everybody feel comfortable and feel open and feel collaborative. And I find that is what makes a much more powerful energy on set, and therefore a much more powerful and energetic film in the end.
Totally. Wow. That is amazing. And has it ever happened to you that no, let me rephrase, how you handle the stress, of directing a project? I mean, I would assume that there's stress around coming and going. So how you handle that part?
Yeah. So I said that I kind of directed 3 projects, and the first one that I'm like, I don't know. So the first one that I did was right before the pandemic. I call it my self-taught film school because I didn't actually go to film school. I just like to put projects together and make mistakes and do that. And so I was doing something that I initially wanted to film and ended up becoming a photo shoot. a story for another time, but we ended up starting really late in the evening because Willem Dafoe was in the space that we wanted to use. We can come back to that. But in that project, we ended up filming, like I said, really late in the evening because we were filming for free at a restaurant that I worked at, which meant we had to wait until everybody else had left. And there were just various other stressors through the day. And so when it came down to actually shooting, I was like peak level stress. And I had also been doing like almost all the producing. I was doing the producing on the day. Like I was running around grabbing stuff. And so I wasn't able to, I could feel that my anxiety was like really affecting everybody. And my big takeaway from that was learning how to control my energy and therefore be able to kind of like calm everybody else's energy. And so that is now a really major priority for me when I'm making projects. And hopefully I haven't affected anybody too badly since then. But I got really into yoga and meditation, and that is kind of like my key moving forward. And then with this last film, The Statement, my friend Christina Adams and we were both like very, very, very intensely producing, but then I was also directing, and she was one of the stars of it. Randy Lee also produced it, but she was also acting in it. So on the day, we didn't have a producer on set that wasn't involved in another key creative role in the project. And it just meant that we were like so stressed out. I was making mistakes. I, could have done different things in prep to make the whole thing easier. We had a location that was a little bit out of control. And that really taught me that having a producer on set that is dedicated to being a producer means that I can be like, hey, here's my problem. I need you to solve it so that I can focus on this other thing. Yeah, totally. That also helps to really navigate my stress.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's bad up level 3. There you go. Your cat just said it. Badass.
Yeah, he also, there he is. He also helps to navigate my stress quite a bit.
Yeah.
So sweet.
That's amazing. Now, moving on here, let's talk about writing. How you create something. Like, what is like how you get the idea or how you get inspired to be like, I'm gonna start this now.
I really like to start with a feeling. I mentioned before, my kind of like goal is to, Maurice is so talkative. I don't know how much of it you can hear, but he's like, I have an answer for that too. I really like to start with a feeling. I love the female experience. I really love being a woman, and I love going through breakups and falling in love, and like falling in love with somebody that you've only met once and having a crush on them and they have no idea until you start acting really weird, and then you have to like catch yourself and having those conversations with your friends. And all those little moments in life are what I want to replicate on screen. So that's like as many emotions as I can embed in the script, and if they're really real to me, then they'll be really real to the audience. And for that reason, kind of writing from what I know and writing from what I've been through is like I have to start there.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's true. I mean, you can tell, right? Whenever you can tell whenever you are reading something that is not real, right? That it's forced, that it's kind of forced for you to kind of like it instead of reading something that it's honest to it. By the second you're reading it, you're already loving it because you can totally like assimilate. You can totally like relate. And the fact that you're using like very awkward, amazing, awful situations, especially like like in things like that. I mean, I would assume, right, that it's at the same time kind of therapeutic too, because you're kind of helping yourself to release from that. I mean, I wouldn't say pain, but from that situation,
100%, totally.
That's amazing. And how you handle, for example, you're writing something, and I mean, I would assume, of course, that you don't write the whole stuff in one sit, right? I mean, it takes several or weeks, months, perhaps. So how you manage to, for example, you're writing and then you get stuck. Like, do you usually take a break and then move forward, or you're like, okay, I'm done for today, I'm going to continue tomorrow? Like, what is your thing whenever you started writing?
Yeah, I mean, I have the luxury of not having deadlines right now, which maybe I need some deadlines because I love being like, I'm just going to put this in a drawer and I'll come back to it in a week or whatever. But at the moment I have a TV show and a feature film that I'm working on, and I have notes in my notes app. And whenever like a song that feels right comes along, I'll put that in the note, or like, you know, something will inspire me in my day and I'll add that to the note. And so that means I'm just kind of like always working on it. But because I have 2 projects going on, I never get like obsessed with one or bored of one. Because sometimes when you just have one project and you're putting all of your focus into it and you feel like you need to get it done, sometimes I'll find that like I'm adding things to the project that aren't really supposed to be there. Like it's just like I feel like I need to be working on it, and so I add something there, and then later on I'm like, oh, didn't need that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
Oh, I love your cat. It's really cool. You know.
Yeah, he's really sweet.
Yeah, back when I started this, I had a puppy, right? And in most of the interviews, if you check like the old ones, you will see a puppy flying by, just crossing.
Oh my goodness, Maurice needs to be here right now. Come here.
There you go.
What's your puppy's name?
Rocco.
Cute.
Yeah. I mean, right now the thing is that he's now old. I mean, he grew now, so now he tends to think that he's still a puppy, and he's a pit bull. So the funny thing here is that, you know, those dogs have a lot of strength. So he will be, even to this day, I mean, not right now, but every now and then he will be like what you doing? He will just enter the room here, doing some jumps here and there, checking who's in the camera, do the exact same thing as your cat is doing, like moving the tail around and be like, this is my tail, check it out, y'all.
Yeah, I think Maurice thinks he's a dog.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I like it. Now, moving on here also, let's talk about now editing. Tell me, how did that, like, how, like, my main question would be like how it all happened for you to start to be connected in so many things now, like how you managed to do this and that, like what made you want to do that?
So I have 2 answers. First of all, I started editing. I took an IB International Baccalaureate film class in high school. Okay. I was in a very small high school for 11th and 12th grade in Shanghai, and it just happened that because of kind of like scheduling, the only elective that I could take was film, which I was like, okay, cool. Like I didn't really like care. And then I like fell so deeply in love with it. I was like, this is my life now. But I started editing there, and I just kind of liked, you know, finding little ways to make things better. And I ended up being, you know, pretty good. But that wasn't necessarily what I was like really striving to do. And then in terms of everything else, like directing and acting, I've always known that I've wanted to do, but it took a really long time for me to give myself permission to do them. So I'm turning 28 in 2 days, actually. And I've been like actively involved in like creating my own projects in the film industry, just for like less than 6 months. And I've known, you know, I've been like doing a lot of studying, and I've been writing for a lot longer than that. And that first photo shoot that I did was like right before the pandemic. So it was 3 years ago. But like, considering that I've always known that I wanted to act, and like, I didn't get myself into acting classes until like just over a year ago, that really shows that I don't know, there was just like something, it was the whole like being bullied while growing up, and like my dad wanting me to go into business and all of those, and just like not thinking that the arts, or being told that the arts wasn't like a sustainable career. I just didn't, I just couldn't give myself that permission to get there. And I'm really happy that I finally have.
I see.
This cat is so chaotic.
Yeah. All of it. But you know, so you basically, I mean, you basically are part of this generation who was told back then that living on arts, you know, acting, music, things like that, you were not going to be able to make that happen.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Same thing. And it's interesting because now things have changed, because now, for example, one of my friends has a kid, and the kid right now, I think he's 10. And he's saying that he wants to, you know, become an actor, and his father, he's like, yeah, you can totally make that happen. Let's do it. Let's find, you know, let's find a way for you to start working on that and develop it. And
cool.
And it's funny because back then, if you said you want to do that, I mean, I would understand. Of course, they will be telling you those type of comments, right? That you need to think it twice. Are you sure? You need to think in a plan B. I mean, they're telling you that because they don't want you to starve, basically, which is fine. But at the same time, why not taking the risk? You know, I do think that if you have the idea of wanting to do something, why not trying? I mean, you already have the worst outcome, which is nothing because you're not doing it. So why not try to do it and see what happens?
What you just said is so great. I love that. Like the worst outcome is just not doing it, even though you want to. I realized at some point while I was growing up as well that like I would be really jealous of certain people, and eventually I realized it was just because they were doing the things that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
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 And so I've learned like whenever I'm jealous of somebody, I just need to like analyze what they're doing and like figure out what needs to be added to my lifestyle.
Yeah, yeah, but that's how Chat with Dan started. Basically, I saw this guy on YouTube who interviews actors, and I got jealous, and I was like, if he can do it, I can do it too.
Badass.
Yeah,
badass level 4, Dan.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That's amazing. But yeah, I mean, at the end, it's like that. I mean, why not try and do it? You know, at the end of the day, you don't have nothing to lose already, so just try it. And it's really cool the fact that you managed to also not let yourself from bad situations to not going into a position that you are working on to at some point you will be on, you know, because it happens, right? That whenever you will feel down, either, for example, perhaps when you were a kid, you were bullied or things like that. I mean, it hurts, of course, but it tends to leave kind of like a scar in you, feeling you insecure, you know, that perhaps you're not worthy. But once you realize, and once you start to get older, you're like, you know what, I am worthy, and I'm gonna try it. And if people don't like it, that's fine. If people like it, cool. But that's the way it is. So.
And now I'm gonna make art about people feeling insecure and overcoming it.
There you go.
Pow pow pow.
Yeah, I will. I will be dropping this mic, basically. Anyway, now let's say that one day I call you and I tell you that I want to become an actor, a director, writing too, why not? And editing as well. But here's the catch. I don't know anything about it. So based on what you know, what would you think that would be like the best advice for me before jumping into this bunch of careers?
I would start with writing. Half of the reason also that I started with writing was recognizing and like hearing so many people in interviews talk about how they were, as an actor, kind of reliant on people giving them jobs in the industry. And, you know, like I'm blonde and I was made fun of a lot for being blonde. And I realized if I wanted to be an actress, I would be typecast as like the stupid blonde. And I have control over that because I'm a writer and I'm deciding what projects I'm making. Can you go on the floor, please? You're very distracting. So, and then also being a writer it makes it a lot easier to tell like what projects are good and what are not so good. So, and then it also just like helps you to get in touch with yourself. It gives you a lot more autonomy over your career. And I think it just, generally allows for a deeper thinking. And then also as a director, like directing somebody else's story, it can be difficult because you want to you want to do the thing that they had in mind and you want to really represent that correctly and fairly. But at the same time, as a director, you need to be able to like be pulling everything out of yourself. So sometimes that means that you have to buy somebody else's screenplay and kind of change it a little bit. And part of the reason that I stopped, I was a freelance writer for quite a while. And I've switched over to freelance editing recently because it was just, I was just having a hard time with the idea of having something that I, birthed, like a screenplay that I've been working on for a year, sell it to somebody and then they change it. And then they also maybe they buy it and then they change it a bunch and then they never even make it. Like, it's just not something that I can really do.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And then also, so starting with writing, I think is major. And then just giving yourself permission from the get-go. There are so many opportunities around, like getting into high school theater and any kind of art outlet. I think really like any kind of art outlet, I think informs the other one. And so finding something that is interesting to you and just taking the plunge and going for it is the first step to finding yourself.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
that is like badass level 5 here. You're killing it here.
Thank you. I feel really nervous and I have a little bit of a headache. So I'm just like, I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense, but
Yeah, but it
if
does.
Dan says that it is, then I'm
Yeah.
good. Okay, great.
Yeah, it does make sense. It's
Cool.
amazing. I love it. And it's wow,
Thanks.
okay. I tell you what, if I ever become a writer, director, actor, like all of that, once I start receive awards, I'll be mentioning you in my thank you speech every time.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I tell you what, I will be even cutting the awards half so you can have half of it and I will have half of it.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Cool. It's like a best friends necklace.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
exactly, because then when we hang out, then we can put it together, be like now it's together, and things like that. Yeah,
It's like the Parent Trap photo. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, there you go. I like it. Love it. Now,
Sweet.
like, tell me, like, what motivates you? You know, we all have those days that we just want to quit. Regarding, or like it, yeah, like regardless of what we're doing, we just want to quit. You know. So how you manage to silence, like all of those toxic thoughts here and there, and puts you back in this road that you have been in, but all at the same time you have been working on for so many years now.
Well, it's looking at the work that I've done. I in middle school and high school and my early 20s, and like up until now still, I deal with very very serious depression and anxiety, and I've grown from it quite a bit, but I've had some dark times. But I definitely had times where I never thought that I was going to be happy with what I was doing in my life, and now I am very happy with what I'm doing in my life and the path that I'm on and my lifestyle. So the days where I'm feeling down on myself, I look at how far I've come. And I look at all of the support that I have from my circle. I'm really super, super, super grateful to be in the indie scene in Vancouver. It's an amazing group of people that all just want to make art and help each other out. Yeah. I just wrapped on a feature that I was helping out with as an associate producer. We just wrapped production. I'm about to go into editing as an editing assistant. But it was just like, everybody just wants to come together and help this person tell their story. And there's so much love in this city, and from the people that I spend my time with and collaborate with, that like I'm at a point where I'm like, well, I can't let them down. But also ultimately, like, I just can't let myself down. So I gotta keep moving.
What can I say? I love it. It's incredible. Yes. And also the fact that now that you mentioned depression, I've been there too. I know what you mean. And it can be awful. It could be taking you to a very dark place in which once you are out of it, you're like, I can't believe I was like deep there. But hey, as I was saying, at the end of the day, you're making it happen. You are showing everyone here that you are actually making it happen, and you're getting results. And perhaps, there's going to be some haters around would say like, yeah, but she's not, having these huge projects. Yeah, whatever. But you are actually doing the stuff the stuff you love, I think, I know that it sounds cliche, do what makes you happy and things like that. But we all know that it's a pain in the butt for you to actually be working on something that you want to. It's a pain in the butt because you need to actually build something from scratch, from nothing, to making it into something later, which I do think that people doesn't think about that, but whenever you want to start something, you tend to see like the big picture, but you don't celebrate you don't celebrate those baby steps you make along the way. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, like that whole, it's like zooming out and being kind of like bird's eye view and then being on the ground. Yeah. Definitely, it can be like some days when you're low, it's easier to look at the big picture, and some days when you're low, you need to look at like your little achievements. 100%. And then also, like, you're right, like I've put in a lot of work to get to where I am. I have a big plan for where I want to go. And like, it's just like those little, you're chipping away at it day by day, and you just can't compare yourself to anybody because we're all where we're supposed to be. And that's the other thing I always remind myself, like, I've so much to learn and so much to go. And so even though I haven't made a feature yet, like, I'm not in a rush. Like, the more that I learn and the more mistakes that I make along the way before I do that thing, the better that product will be. because of all the other experiences that I've had before it.
Yeah. I mean, at the end, it's everyone has their own path, their own road, and you don't need to rush. I used to be the type of person that like to live fast, like rush everything, like rush, like doing a bunch of stuff like in 1 second, and like be rushing all the time. But later on, you start to discover that you are not actually enjoying the whole process. It's like, and I have this idea. It's like you order a pizza, right? If you eat it once, you're not gonna to actually enjoy it. If you go piece by piece, take a time here and there, drink something, then go back. I mean, you are not actually enjoying it. That if you're eating it at once, what's the point of it? You're just gonna feel full, but you didn't enjoy the ride. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. And it's like, it's just, so it's about like slowing down and taking a deep breath and being grounded and allowing yourself to experience the moment.
Yeah. I mean, if it works for you, I mean, at the end of the day, it's your path, it's your life, and you get to decide how you want to do it, So there you go. Now, let's say that one day Netflix, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Paramount, Lionsgate, and I think that's Amazon Prime. Anyway, you name it. They call you, they tell you they have this idea which goes, they're gonna make a film about your whole career since day one until right now. But here's the thing. The film needs a name. So how would you call it?
Oh my gosh. I think I have an answer for this somewhere. I feel like, it's like highs and lows. I'd probably call it growth.
Okay. Growth.
One word titles tend to do really well right now. So growth.
Okay.
Or evolution.
So we're talking prequels now.
No. I have something that I like to do sometimes. Like I said, I had anxiety and depression when I was a kid. I got sent to a therapeutic boarding school when I was in my teen years. So I was kind of like removed from society for a little bit and then re-released. And since then I have a habit of like, when I feel like I'm maybe not happy with what I'm doing, or I just like need a moment of growth, sometimes I'll like delete my social media for 2 years and like work on myself. And I call that cocooning. And sometimes it's for a day, sometimes it's for a month. But like, I like to like literally just shut out the world, focus on myself, focus on what I'm doing day to day and how I'm like spending my mornings and what makes me happiest, eating well, whatever. Focus and like building a new skill. And then when I come out of that cocoon period and I fly my wings like a butterfly, it's like I'm like a new person. It's like I'm like in a new phase of my life. So I'm constantly evolving.
Okay. So every time you do that, it's like we having the Sierra version 2.0.
Yeah, I think I'm on like version 6 right now.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, around there.
No, we're good. I like it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And you know what? It sounds like I mean, I have already pictured it. We're talking here about. Let's go for a TV show first, which is a cocoon. It's a journey about how it takes you there, and then we jump straight to the film, which is evolution, or second season, which be evolution now. Which is a whole process after it, and you are recovering to be a better one, and then boom, we get a film now. With the whole journey too. Yeah.
So like a TV show and then a different story in the film.
Yeah, but with the same kind of characters. It's like instead of the MCU, we're gonna have an SCU.
Oh my gosh. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm into it. Yeah, some world building.
Yeah. Now, what about describing your whole career, but this time on a drink? How would you call it, and what would it have?
I guess like going from evolution, I guess it would have to be like a corpse reviver.
I never heard of it.
Corpse reviver? I think it's mezcal. Let me look it up. I should know this because I worked in restaurants for so long. It's actually gin, Lillet Blanc, orange liqueur, and fresh lemon juice. But I call like the corpse reviver because like you're like in a moment of hibernation and then you revive and you're a new person.
I like it. I'm definitely gonna try one of those this weekend.
It's great. You should.
I'll let you know how was it. Yeah. Okay. And cool. My last question here is, what can we expect from you in the future? Hit it.
Production company is Lawless Spinster Productions. I really like the dramedy tone. That's like where I live, and I've wanted to live in that space since before I really knew what a dramedy was. My kind of philosophy there is you can't have highs without lows. And so shows that really allow you to, like, I don't love a sitcom and I don't love like a super dark drama, but I love like Fleabag or Atlanta or like Insecure or Girls, like anything that kind of sits in the middle and has like, I'm a comedian as well. And so like, you know, I love to laugh. Like I want to laugh and I want to cry, but I don't want to sob. Maybe I'll sob a little bit, like season 2 Fleabag. But so I'm working on projects kind of in that vein. The TV show that I'm working on is called The Woods, and that's about my time in therapeutic land. I'm working on a breakup feature. I'm going through a breakup. I've been going through a breakup, and I started writing it the week before I got broken up with, as one does. And then I have other projects that I want to do, but then I'm also like working on some sketch stuff. So I'm gonna be around that whole scene. I know like that's what I'm working on. I'm also doing some editing work in Vancouver. I'm available for hire. I'm about to do my first editing assistant gig on a feature film. And I'm also working on a really well-known film festival in the city called Crazy Eights. So I'm getting my mentee time in right now. And I look forward to continuing to edit my own projects and hopefully edit some other people's bigger projects, because editing is a really great way to learn about directing and cameras and writing. And that's a lot of the reason that I've decided to pivot and do that as my profession while I'm tinkering away at working on my other things. But I do also have quite a few other projects that I would like to bring to light. I have another short film that's been written for years and is ready to be filmed, but I need a little bit of a budget to do it. So I'm looking for financiers. And Lawless Spinster Productions is all female non-binary crews, which is great. It's so much fun. We've all had so much fun together with so far. And I would like to continue doing that, but I'd love to give people money because there's a lot of volunteer work that happens, which there's a time and a place for it, but the industry is slow now and people need to pay their rent. So I'd like to help them do that. Yeah.
I'm gonna drop again. No, I'm just kidding. Wow. Wow. Yeah. I mean, what can I say? I mean, it's incredible. It is the definition of badass here, because you're achieving so many great things and you're actually making it happen. As I was saying before, the fact that you are not letting yourself feeling down for, you know, bad situations here and there, that doesn't stop you. I mean, and that's amazing. I mean, of course that you will have. I mean, we'll have those days that we just want to quit for a while. You know, have a break, a couple of days out, months perhaps, and then return. But that's great. We all need that. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not robots. We're humans, and we do have feelings and moments like that. So, but hey, as I was saying, it's incredible. It's incredible what you do. Keep doing it. I mean, I'm super sure that our next conversation is going to be about the multiple hundreds upon hundreds projects you have directed and created and acted. I mean, you are killing it here. And yeah, keep doing what you do. It's incredible.
Thank you so much, Dan. It's been such a pleasure to chat with you.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited and inspired by everybody that's been on your podcast. So
thank you. And I also want to thank. Privileged. I also want to thank those who watched this. Thank you so much for staying here and watching this whole video. Now, here's the thing. Since this episode is about to be over, on the description below, you're going to find the social media for Sierra. Let's follow her. # Team Sierra. She's incredible. She's a badass. I mean, you already seen here. She's a super badass here. And again, thank you so much for making this happen, Sierra. Have an incredible, kind of upcoming weekend whenever, you know, an incredible upcoming birthday as well. And I'll definitely be seeing the next one.
Thank you so much. All right. I'll see you then.
All right.